Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hi, this is Tammy Patzer, and today's guest is Courtney Kostelecky of Presto Marketing. He helps businesses get more clients, customers, and patients. And he has a new book coming out about how to get exceptional, stellar testimonials and reviews from each and every one of your clients, customers, or patients. Welcome, Courtney.
Hey, thanks for having me, Tammy.
Well, great. I'm happy that you're here. Let's go ahead and get started. Tell me, why are testimonials and reviews so important for marketing your business today?
Well, you know, the interesting thing about that is the way that we get referrals. And if you look back to, you know, as the business owner listening to this, how you got started in your business, what did you do? You may have done some newspaper ads and radio and TV and some stuff like that. But most of you, and part of your main strategy, was asking for customer referrals, which is huge. Now, what's interesting about this, if we were having this conversation, you know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, if you're, you know, let's say, you know, we're having coffee together, and I say, hey, Tammy, my car's making clunkety noise. Who's your mechanic? And you say, oh, go talk to Bob at Bob's Auto Shop. I go, great. Do you have his number? And chances are you probably don't carry Bob's business card with you. So you say, no, but he's online, just Google him. And so what happens is people are remembering the name of the business, and so they go online and they're Googling that business or using Yahoo or Bing or whatever they're doing. And when that happens, they're seeing all the other reviews and what people are saying about that business. And that's really huge. Right now, there is a survey that was done where they came out with 72% of buyers actually trust reviews as much as personal recommendations.
Wow, 72%. Yeah. So what you're saying is, back in the day, a few years ago, word of mouth, which is if you ask people what their best form of getting new businesses, they say word of mouth. Mm-hmm. But today we go online and we check out the Google reviews or Yelp or whatever. There's so many resources now to find reviews. And would you say is the worst problem that people run into if they don't have any reviews? Or what if they have a bad reputation? Is there a way to fix that?
Yeah, there is actually. And I mean, the problem with the internet is there's really no police. And so you could have anybody write anything about your business. As an example, I mean, a number of years ago, I'm still big into SEO, search engine optimization. And that's what was one of my primary services. It is still one of my primary services. But now I actually lead with reputation before that. And this is what happened. A number of years ago, I had a client, and they were in the roofing construction industry. And so they hired me to do a website and do some SEO to get on the first page of the search engines, which I did for them. And then about 90 days later, we're having a follow-up, and he's telling me that he likes the website, but he's not getting any customers from it. And I thought, well, that's kind of strange. You know, we should have gotten something. And so when I went online and did some research, what I found out is he had on the first page of the search engines was a review that said this, XYZ company, don't do business with them. They lie, cheat, and steal. And their staff will sit on the top of your building, drink beer, and smoke weed. Now let me ask you this. Would you hire a company with a review like that?
No. I actually had something similar happen. They drank beer, smoked cigarettes, and fished off of my dock. So
Yes. So when I called the owner about that, and it turns out that review was 100% true. And the scary thing is, it was posted by an ex-employee who got fired for drinking beer and smoking weed. So it was, a truthful review in that aspect. But it's not really the way that he wanted to portray his business to the general public. And so with that one, that took some different strategies to get down with that. But a lot of times it just has to do with getting enough reviews to actually bury that bad review. And there's some strategies that we, depending on how bad a review it is or what it's on, there's some definite strategies that we can put in place to take care of that. But the main thing is, and what a lot of people don't realize is, the best reason to have a reputation strategy in place, it's not only to protect your brand and your reputation, but it also helps with feedback and growing your business. We talked about how the word of mouth is the way that a lot of people grow their business. Well, online reputation is really the new word of mouth.
Okay. So could you give me some examples? If I was working on my online reputation, can you give us maybe one to three things that every good testimonial or review should include in it?
Yeah, definitely. Now, there's going to be a couple of different issues depending on what industry you're in, because you've got HIPAA and things like that. So one of the things is if you can get a last name, that's preferable. But if you don't feel comfortable, or if you think it's going to be an issue with your particular industry, then just go with like a first and a last name. The other thing that you want to do too is you want to actually have the customer leave the review if possible. Because what I see a lot of times happening is business owners, they'll get a bunch of reviews and they'll get them on paper. Then they'll have like their secretary, or they'll go home and type Minute Night or whatever on Google Plus or these different sites. And what happens is the search engines, they see that all these reviews are getting posted from this particular same IP address or internet's computer address. And so they actually flag it, they delete the reviews, and in some cases they can actually flag and delete that entire account. So you don't want that. So full names if possible. The other thing that you want to do too is you really want to focus on a couple of different places. If you are a restaurant, one of the places that you really want to focus on is getting reviews on Yelp. TripAdvisor is also a good place. If you in Google Plus, you can never have Google Plus is always a great place to get reviews on too. The other thing you want to do too is you want to try and get something specific, because you've probably seen some reviews about this place is the best, or I love whatever it might be about it. Doc Brown is the best, whatever it might be. So one of the things you want to do with that is you really want to get specific. So let's say, for example, that you're an attorney and you help somebody win a settlement, and what you want to do is you want to, when they're saying thank you, you want to ask for for the review right away. You don't want to wait for asking, because a lot of times if you wait 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, whatever it might be, it's not fresh in the mind, and they'll probably still leave a review for you, but you really want to strike while the iron is hot. And what you want to do is you want to ask them something specific. So you want to, let's say somebody's, you got a good settlement for them about whatever it might be, and they say, hey, thank you for that. And it's like, that's really awesome. It's been a pleasure serving you. If you wouldn't mind, would you mind going on and then let them know what site you'd like them to go on and letting people know how we helped you with XYZ situation. And so that way you're not going to get something like, this guy's the best. You're going to get something specific about their situation. And they're going to recall that situation in their mind. And that's when you're going to get some really good testimonials that aren't phony in any way, and they don't sound phony. Another thing that you want to avoid too at all costs is there are some places that will you can actually buy reviews, and that is wrong, and that is just illegal. So don't even try that. That's just a good way. You're just opening up yourself to a whole can of worms with that one. So don't do it.
Wow. Well, yeah, be honest, because in the world, obviously, if you think about being online, people can go back, for example, TripAdvisor or Yelp or Google Plus. Like you said, those different reviews, you can normally tell when reviews have a real tone to them or a real experience versus a fake review. And if you're in business, it shouldn't be that difficult if you're a good business person to get positive testimonials and reviews. So I absolutely agree with you, and that is really, really good advice. What about these people who think that they don't need reviews or they don't want to spend any money on marketing? What do you say? What do you do? Let's say that you are someone who you believe in reviews, but you don't have a lot of money. Is there a simple way to get reviews? Or what is the best way to, get started with a service or doing it yourself to get these great stellar reviews?
Yeah, that's a great question. We actually have some technology that we use where we can implement it in businesses, and we have with great success. For example, one of my clients, an attorney, received 29 reviews in 25 days, I believe it was.
Wow.
Which is pretty awesome.
It's like
and
a review a day or so.
yeah, just about. So that's awesome there too. But it can be without having a system to get this done on autopilot. It can be done, but it can be time consuming and it can be challenging. But what you would want to do, if anything, is if you can ask for somebody to leave a review while they are while it's still fresh in their mind, that's a perfect thing right there. So which brings me to another thing, which a lot of customers do of mine, is they'll have like a tablet in their office, and they'll ask people to leave a review right in their office. Well, the problem with that is, once again, all those reviews are coming from the same website address. Mm-hmm. And so those are going to get flagged. And so that's not a good solution. So you don't want to do that. You always want to have them leave a review from their home or from their individual cell phone. But what they should do is you should be following up with every person that you do business with. And without a system in place, that can be difficult. And what you want to do is, not necessarily ask for a review, but you want to ask for customer feedback, because you don't know if they're going to give you a positive or negative review. They might come out of some place and say, "Hey, would you leave us a review?" It's like, "Oh, I'd love to leave a review." And in the mind, they're thinking, "Oh, I'm going to leave you a review, all right? You have no idea what I'm going to say." And so that can be a really bad situation for you there. So it's not so much the reviews, but it's more customer service and customer feedback. And then when you do spot somebody who had a great situation, then you move on and ask them, "Hey, would you mind sharing that review with other people online?"
That's really good advice, because you want to be in control of the review process, because I'm pretty sure it's pretty difficult when somebody posts at a site for you to say, hey, that's not what I expected. Please take it down, because you're not going to get anyone to help you take those bad reviews down. So it's better to be in control of them in advance. So, Courtney, if somebody wants to go find out more about how you can help them and your book, where can people go?
They can go to prestomarketinggroup.com, and there is going to be a link called Business Innovators Freebies that I've set up for listeners of your podcast and the show, and they can actually download a sneak peek of my upcoming book.
Great. And also, if somebody wants to get a baseline report, I know that you also offer a free online reputation report. Where can they go to get that?
They can go to myfreeonlinereputationreport.com.
Okay, perfect. And I will put live links in the show notes for you. Before we wrap up, is there anything that we might not have touched on that you think is really important for our listeners today?
I think people don't realize how important getting reviews are. Reviews and positive reviews are, actually, help in my experience with some of the things that I've done, actually help moving people up in the search engines. One of my clients is a chiropractor, and I took him from page 12 to page 1 in 45 days, which is pretty cool in itself. But that page 1, he was kind of hovering in the towards the bottom of the maps, and we implemented a review strategy which bumped him up a couple of notches. So reviews do have a big, a key, a big playing on that. I mean, the other thing too is put yourself in the shoes of a potential, client, customer, or patient of yours. If somebody is going and they're looking for, the generic term, attorney, Dallas or whatever city it is. If there is one business that has a bunch of reviews and they're all, 4 or 5 stars, and then your business doesn't have as many or none, who do you think is going to get the phone call? They may call you because they're doing their research, but more likely they're going to call the person and the business that has the best reviews. And that's just the way it is.
That's good advice. So reputation counts. Keep that in mind, everyone. I want to thank Courtney Kostelecky. He helps businesses get more clients, customers, and patients. Be sure to go check out PrestoMarketingGroup.com, the Business Innovators Freebie, so that you can get a sneak peek at how you can use reviews and testimonials to help you grow your business. Thanks, Courtney. Thanks,
Tammy.
Tammy Patzer, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.